Good evening and welcome to the January 22nd meeting of the Livermore City Council. I call the meeting to order. We've got from the Library Board of Trustees, their annual update. And I believe we have Chair Richard Hunt. Mr. Hunt.
I'm Rich Hunt, Chair of the Library Board of Trustees. Last year, I presented our goals for 2023. They were related to access, engagement, learning and literacy, annual events, and a policy review. The board encouraged the library to expand its reach for story time. So we had story times in the park, which were very popular. And they also started an ASL story time and a sensory story time. Using grant money, the library purchased mobile hotspots and has used those to get out in the community and bring the library to the people where they are, using those hotspots to register new library cards, or could even check out books. The hotspots are also available in the Library of Things, so people in the community can check these hotspots out and have high-speed internet wherever they are using the hotspot from the Library of Things. The board suggested many partnerships with community groups and organizations with the idea of expanding the library's reach into the community. In addition to our long-term allies, these new partnerships will allow the library to reach new places in the community. The Friends of the Livermore Library remain a steadfast and significant partner, funding many of the library's programs. The board pushed the media literacy lecture series. The sessions were recorded, so you too can access them if you missed them. Just check out the link on the library's webpage to watch the recordings. The board works continuously with the library on potential new events and ways to improve existing events, suggesting new ways to promote programs and possible additions to programs to make programs more attractive. Cultural events included the Korean Cultural Festival, the Dia del Niño Family Festival, Black History Month events, Latinx and Hispanic Heritage Month events, and many others. Applying lessons from the pandemic, library staff has worked to provide programming in a variety of ways to meet the needs of everyone in the community. So hybrid programs provide both online access and in-person access. Asynchronous programs allow patrons to take an activity and do it at a later date. I'll close by reviewing our goals for the coming year. Engagement. The board will support the library's efforts to develop more programming and services where residents naturally gather. Strategic plan support. The board will continue to review and consider objectives set forth both by the city's plan and the library's plan, and will propose ways that the board can support the efforts to meet those objectives. Annual events. We want to continue to support the events that are working really well, but we want to develop new events, help the library develop new events to reach perhaps a different audience. Board support and advocacy. We're going to work with the library to identify additional ways that we can help them and perhaps advocate for them in the community. And lastly, the policy review. We're going to continue to do that, look at more policies and to ensure that they're fair, diverse, equitable, and inclusive. With that, that's the end of my talk.
Now we're coming up to 3.2, which is the citywide strategic plan annual update.
This is your city manager, Mariana Marsh. I'll start just with a couple of remarks. I'm really excited to be here today with the city's first annual strategic plan update. The city of Livermore adopted its first comprehensive strategic plan less than a year ago. And that plan reflects 5-year goals and objectives of every single department. I will highlight a very brief high-level overview because we have so much to share. But I did want to take a moment and thank our dedicated staff for their daily ongoing efforts to serve our community.
I'm Stephanie Egidio, Assistant to the City Manager, and I am pleased to be here this evening to present the first annual update to the 5-year citywide strategic plan. So the strategic plan is a framework for allocating the limited resources in accordance with the organization's goals, investing the city's funds on areas that are deemed most important. City staff last year converted 27,800 square feet of turf to low water use landscape on city property. And staff also completed a pilot project to detect subsurface leaks, resulting in a savings of 23 million gallons of drinking water per year. Under the pillar A City That Works, Staff communicated consistently with over 135,000 followers and subscribers to the city's social media accounts and e-newsletter. The achievements that are summarized in the annual update reflect the commitment of the City Council, who provide clear policy direction to staff, and the commitment of the entire city organization in collaboration with the community to make this city as great as it can be. The strategic plan can be viewed on the city website at livermoreca.gov/strategic plan. And the annual update document will also be updated to that same webpage by tomorrow.
When you piece all of those little squares together, you can really see the major changes we've made just in 3 short years that I've been on this dais.
This really does a great job of showing all of the things the city is doing in a very accessible way. So thank you.
This really is, it's a great document that shows that we have a vision and this is how we're implementing it. Moving on to consent calendar. These are typically items that are routine in nature. It's usually passed with a single motion.
Just a question, I'm not pulling anything. On item 5.4, the Montage Trail connection, do we have a rough timeline on when that will be completed?
Yes, work will start this spring and should be done by the end of June for that project.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
So if you would just do a presentation on the CFR.
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, yes, this is your City Manager again, Mariana Marasheva. We do have a brief presentation that the staff is going to be able to share with you in a moment.
My name's Tina Olson. I'm your Administrative Services Director, and to my left is Eric Peterson, your Finance Manager. And yeah, we were quite pleased with this audit as well. I just have a short presentation. So it's the annual comprehensive financial report, and it's audited. It identifies the city's assets, and that's cash, investments, and our fixed capital assets by fund. Identifies the city's liabilities, and that's pension, retiree medical, any outstanding debt the city has, vacation accruals, claims payable, also by fund, and then of course the ending fund balances by fund. So that's essentially what it is. And we have the notes, and those explain all of those different assets and liabilities and fund balances, but that's it in a nutshell.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to public hearings. 6.1, this is a public hearing and a landowner election regarding a community facilities district at Arroyo Vista. This is the time and place for the public hearing for the Community Facilities District number 2023-2, Arroyo Vista Maintenance and Services. The hearing is to inquire into the formation of the district and the levy of special taxes for municipal services in the district. Before I formally open the hearings, are there any property owners or registered voters in the district who wish to file written protests? If so, they must be filed with the city clerk now.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and council members. Tonight, we are conducting a public hearing for the formation of Community Facility District 2023-2, Arroyo Vista Maintenance and Services. Community facility districts are a type of assessment district that provides a funding mechanism for cities and counties to collect funds for new development, infrastructure, or maintenance. Property owners are assessed based on their proportionate share for either construction or maintenance, depending on the level of benefit that the property receives from the improvements. The boundary of the CFD, shown here in yellow, coincides with the boundary of the Arroyo Vista Neighborhood Plan area, located along Las Positas Road between the west and east side of the Arroyo Seco Channel. The property consists of a 435-unit project comprised of 2 phases. The special amenities within the Arroyo Vista Neighborhood Plan to be maintained by the CFD include the following: a multi-use trail located along the west side of the Arroyo Seco Channel, and landscaping improvements along Las Positas Road. The CFD includes an optional contingency item for the future long-term repair, replacement, and maintenance costs of the pedestrian bridge.
We may now consider and adopt 2 resolutions. 1, to adopt the resolution of formation of a community facilities district, and 2, to adopt a resolution calling for a special landowner election for a community facilities district. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, will the clerk please open the ballots for this election and announce the result of the property owner vote?
Mr. Mayor, 1 ballot was received. The ballot represents 30 votes, and it was voted in favor of the ballot measure. As a result, there are 30 yes votes and 0 no votes. The ballot measure passes.
Moved by Councilmember Barrientos,
Second.
seconded by Councilmember Kick. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No, passed unanimously. Okay, this completes tonight's proceedings for the districts. So with that, there being no further business coming before the city, meeting's adjourned. We'll see you in February.